welcome to our week 14 for FAR. So last week, meron po good morning everyone. So welcome to our week 14 for FAR. So last week, meron po tayong naiwan. Bukod sa inyo na iniwan, meron din tayong naiwang sale list back. That's 43.15, and today we will have the Okay, pero syempre, kung kayo ay iniwan, kailangan din naman kayong balik. Ano nga bang ating kasabihan of the day para sa ating sale and leaseback transaction? Di ba? So, ang sale and leaseback kasi, ito yung pinagbiling asset, tapos, ililist ulit. Di ba? So, di ba, kapag sale leaseback, sa atin pa din naman yon. Okay, so parang iniwan ka, you are dumped, no? Pero right away, bigla niya naalala na kailangan ka pala niya. Tandaan ha, kailangan ka niya. Bahala kayo ha, kung paano kayo mag-interpret na. Basta mahalaga, kailangan kayo. Diba? Okay. So again, good morning everyone. Ayan, so good morning kay Daricel. Ayan, so kay Namrola and Delia Marfil. Ayan, so good morning. So to those who are watching this asynchronously, it's a morning. It's a beautiful Friday morning. Ayan, so kamusta kayo guys? I hope you are doing good, no? So kahit pa medyo may mga times na feeling nyo mahirap, no? Pero you know what guys, we really have to go on with our life. Okay, so let's continue with So what is this sale and leaseback transaction? Okay. So if an entity, so which becomes the seller lessee, transfer an asset to another entity, which becomes the buyer lessor. That's the term used by the standard, no? Seller lessee and then the buyer lessor. And leases that asset back from the buyer lessor, both the seller lessee and the buyer lessor are required to account for the transfer contract and the lease. Okay. So if the transfer of asset by the seller lessee satisfies the requirement of IFRS 15, that's the revenue from contract with customers, to be accounted for as a sale of an asset. So definitely, it satisfies PFRS 15 if there is a transfer of control of the asset, and hence, the benefit will be obtained by those who is using the asset. Okay, so it's either number one, the seller lessee should measure the right of use asset, RUA, okay, arising from sale and leaseback. So remember, no, this is the formula kung paano tayo magko-compute ng ide-debit ni lessee, seller lessee as RUA. Take note that at the proportion of the previous carrying amount of the asset. So aalamin natin today what is the carrying value of the asset. That is our basis to compute for our RUA. That relates to the right of use asset retained by the seller lessee. So ang kailangan natin ma-compute, since nagbenta tayo, kung benta lang yan, that's a disposal, that is the recognition of the asset, di ba? And nag-lease back tayo, that results into a finance lease, definitely we have the RUA, di ba? So ang sabi ng standard, definitely may bumalik sa yung portion, di ba? Merong portion na na-retain ni lessee in form of the right of use asset. So again, that is proportionate to the carrying value of the asset, no? Accordingly, the seller lessee should only recognize the amounts of any gain or loss that relates to the rights transfer to the buyer lessor. So again, yung carrying value ng asset, hahatiin natin, no? Magkano ba talaga yung na-retain ni lessee? O hindi ka pwedeng mag-recognize ng gain or loss doon since it was still in your book. No? So in effect, meron ka pa ding kahati. Diba? So ang sabi ng standard, sa portion na na-retain ni lessee, hindi ka pwedeng mag-recognize ng gain or loss. We can only recognize gain or loss on the rights transferred to the buyer lessor. Diba? And the buyer lessor should account for the purchase of the asset, applying applicable PFRS, and for the lease, applying the requirements of the PFRS 16. So wala tayong problema kay lessor eh. Diba? So kung paano tayo nag-account ng direct finance lease, point of view ni lessor, ganun din. So ang problema natin ngayon ay si lessee. Diba? So we have to compute the amount of the rights retained by the lessee, which is proportionate to the carrying value. No? So, kailangan natin makompute magkano ba ang natira sa kanya. Okay? So, if either the fair value of the consideration of the for the sale of an asset does not equal to the fair value of the asset, or payments of the lease are not equal to market rates, the following adjustments are required to measure the sale proceeds at fair value. Okay? So again, ang hahanapin natin dito is fair value ng asset. Again ha, the comparison to compute for the gain or loss on sale is the fair value versus the carrying value. Okay? So it is not the transfer proceeds or the selling price. So again, so ang sabi ng standard, kung ang selling price ay hindi nag-equal sa fair value, or kung walang given na fair value, the present value of the considerations, no? So which are the lease payments, hindi nag-equal sa market rates, we need to adjust, no? For purpose of computation ng ating carrying value initially ng right of use asset. So it will either results into a prepayment, selling price is less than the fair value. So tandaan ha, if selling price, other term or the term used by the standard for selling price is transfer proceeds. Pag hindi nag-equal sa fair value at mas mababa ang selling price, that is a prepayment. No? So that is any below market terms should be accounted for as a prepayment of lease payments. And yung pangalawa, if any above market term should be accounted for as additional financing. So selling price is higher than fair value, additional financing. So ang i-compare natin to determine yung ating adjustment sa ating transfer proceeds or dun sa fair value or dun sa ating present value of the lease payments ay yung difference ng selling price and the fair value. So ang term na ginamit ng standard para sa prepayment ay below market terms. Ang term na ginamit ng standard para sa additional financing ay above market terms. So how are we going to adjust? So the present value of the lease liability is increased by the amount of prepayment. So again, no, madadagdagan yan ng ating prepayments. So ibig sabihin, the PB of the lease plus the difference of the selling price and fair value that results to a prepayment, meaning mas mababa ang selling price, idadagdag natin. If it results to additional financing, the present value of the lease liability is reduced by additional financing to arrive at the rights retained by the lessee. Okay, at fair value. So again, no, yung rights retained by the lessee, that is at fair value. So ang kailangan natin, carrying value. So which is equivalent to the RUA na i-recognize natin today. Okay, so therefore, the difference of the allocated fair value and carrying value of the right of use asset transferred to the lessor is recognized as gain or loss on rights transfer. So meaning, yung total fair value, hahatiin natin, magkano ang na-retain, yung difference, yun ang transfer. So ang sabi ng standard, we can only recognize gain or loss on the portion that is actually transferred to the buyer lessor. Di ba? Kasi in effect, atin pa rin yung portion na na-retain eh. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-recognize ng gain or loss ton. Okay? So again ha, ang comparison to compute our gain or loss is the fair value and the carrying value. Okay, so tingnan natin ha. Assuming we have the following transactions. Apple company has an equipment acquired 3 years ago at a cost of 1 million. Total estimated life is 10 years. So kung 3 years ago yan, 3 years na nakalipas, may 3 taong depreciation expense or accumulated depreciation. On January 1, 2021, Apple company entered into an exchange transaction with Orange company to transfer the equipment that satisfies the requirements of PFRS 15, revenue from contracts with customer as sale. So sinabi na, no? So anyway, kung hindi sinabi sa problem that it satisfies the requirement of PFRS 15, no? That there is a transfer of control, then we assume na this satisfies the PFRS 15 as sale, okay? The transfer proceeds, again guys, anong sinabi ko kanina? The term used by the standard for selling price is transfer proceeds. Okay? So ibig sabihin, yan yung cash na marireceive natin today. Diba? That's the representation of the selling price, transfer proceeds. While the annual rent payable at the end of each year amounts to 140,000. with an incremental borrowing rate of 10% and the fair value of the equipment is 750. So again, no, 850 ang transfer proceeds, that's the selling price, 750 ang fair value. So hindi nag-equals. May difference tayo na 100,000. So first, no, computin natin. Magkano ang present value ng ating minimum lease payment? So tayo si lessee, that is 140,000. So it was stated for the remaining, di ba? So the transfer proceeds is 118. So therefore, meron pa tayong 7 years, no? So 7 years of lease. So that would be 140,000 times the PB factor of 10% in 7 periods, ordinary annuity. Okay, so ito po ang magiging present value of the lease liability. So again ha, present value of ordinary annuity, 10% in 7 periods. So kasi 3 taon na ang nakalipas, so kung yan ay 10 taon, therefore 7 years pa yung ating magiging lease term. Since yung ating selling price is higher than our fair value by 100,000, that's an additional financing. So again, kung additional financing yan, that is deducted. No, so that is the rights retained by the lessee at fair value. So again ha, yung 581,578.63 rights retained by the lessee at fair value. Kasi hahatiin natin yung fair value eh. Yung 750, hatiin natin, magkano yung rights retained? Yun po yung ating present value of lease liability adjusted by additional financing. Okay? So, since additional financing pabawas, kaya ang rights retained at fair value ay 581,578. So again, yung natira, yun yung rights retained, rights transferred at fair value. So kung gagawin natin yung table, di ba? So the right of use asset recognized by the lessee is the proportionate to the carrying value of the asset to rights retained by the lessee at fair value to total fair value. So ito yung ating magiging formula. Yun na compute natin na rights retained at fair value divided by total fair value times the carrying value of the asset. Di ba? So kasi di ba ang sabi ng standard, the RUA to the carrying value of your asset, no, at the date of the sale-leaseback transaction. Compute for the RUA or the carrying value of the rights retained, that's the carrying value of the asset times, ang numerator natin is the rights retained by the lessee at fair value. Ito yung ating minimum lease payment adjusted by additional financing or prepayments over total fair value. Okay? So while this is our table, no? So iti-table natin. Yung total fair value, guys, given yan, 750. Yung 581,578 na compute natin to from our minimum lease payment or the present value of lease liability minus yung 100,000 na additional financing. Okay, yung difference, this is the rights transfer to the buyer lessor. Okay? So yung 700,000 that is computed, yung 1 million times 7 over 10 kasi 3 taon lang nakalipas. Diba? That's 700,000. Again, to compute for our RUA, 700,000 times yung 581,578 divided by 750, that is 542,807. Okay? So ito siya, 542,807. That's the carrying value of the rights retained. Okay? So again, kung titingnan natin, ang fair value ng tinransfer mo, 581. Ang carrying value ng tinransfer mo, 542. Meron kang difference of 38,000. So ang sabi ng standard, yung 38,000, hindi mo pwedeng i-recognize as gain kasi na-retain mo yan. Nasa iyo pa rin yun. Correct? So therefore, yung difference ng fair value at carrying value na 50,000, that's your total gain kung hindi nagkaroon ng sale-leaseback transaction. Diba? Eh nagkaroon. So sabi ng standard, hindi mo pwedeng i-recognize lahat yon. Tanggalin mo yung gain ng rights retained by the lessee. Yun yung 38. So therefore, you can only recognize 11,228. So pag tinanong magkano ang gain or loss, so which is normally kapag sale and leaseback, ito na yung hinahanap natin, yung dalawang naka-red. Magkano ang RUA at magkano yung gain or loss on rights transferred. Okay? So kung e-entradahan natin yan, your transfer proceeds, which is the selling price, that's the amount of cash received. So yung i-debit natin. Diba? So you debit cash for 850,000, that's your transfer proceeds. The RUA, ito na yon, 542,807. accumulated of 300,000, tanggalin since mapapalitan yung ating asset ng RUA. Gain on rights transfer, that's 11,228. Okay? And the equipment at cost na 1 million, your lease liability remains the same, ha? Hindi mababago ang lease liability mo, yan pa din yon, 681,578 each. Okay? So, saan po nang galing yung 700,000? That's the carrying value of the asset. So, kung babalikan natin yung problem, guys, ayan, the equipment was acquired 3 years ago at a cost of 1 million. 3 years ago, so ibig sabihin meron ka pang 7 years. Kaya 1 million times 7/10, that is 700,000. That's the carrying value of your asset. No, that's the carrying value of the equipment. Kaya yung 700,000. So again, so this will be our journal entry. Observation, guys, the cash received is your transfer proceeds or the selling price. Your lease liability will not change. Ginagamit lang natin ang addition or subtraction from lease liability for purpose of computation of the rights retained by the lessee at fair value. Kasi sabi ng standard, kung hindi nag-equals yung fair value at yung ating selling price, so there is a portion that is either prepaid or additional finance, no? So ginagamit natin yun to adjust, no, our rights retained by the lessee at fair value. Okay? So ito example, if this is an additional financing. Okay? So what if this is a prepayments? Okay? Same yung ating problem except that yung fair value is 900. Mas mataas ang fair value kaysa sa selling price, that is a prepayments. Okay? So in such case, o parehas ang computation natin ng lease liability, that's 681,578. Again, sa journal entry, the lease liability will not change. Hindi magbabago yan, ha? So, for purpose of computation, prepayments is added. Diba? So, prepayments is added. That's 850 less 900, 50,000. So, kaya ang fair value ng rights retained by the lessee is 731,578. So, yan yung ating magiging fair value of the rights retained. So, gawin natin yung table sa next page. So to compute for our rights retained at carrying value, ito yung 569,005, 731,578 divided by the total fair value of 900,000 times the carrying value of 700,000, ito yung 569,005. That's the RUA. Ito ang i-debit nating RUA. Again, yung 731 less 569, meron kang 162,573. So hindi mo siya pwedeng i-recognize as gain. So therefore, you can only recognize gain on rights transferred na 37,426. So it's either yung 200,000 na gain, that's a difference of 900 and 700, minus the 162,573, or yung 168,421 minus 130,994. So parehas yung makocompute mo dyan. That's 37,426. Ito lang ang i-recognize natin as gain. So again, pag in-entryhan natin yan, so the amount of cash received will be the selling price, which is still at 850. So you debit cash, 850. Ang RUA, ito yung carrying value of the rights retained, 569,005. Accumulated is 300,000. Gain is only 37,426.97. Equipment credited at cost 1 million. Again, your lease liability remains 681,578. So hindi magbabago ang lease liability. Okay, so pag tinanong, magkano ang RUA? That's 569,005. Ang gain, we only have 37,426.97. Okay, so ito yung ating prepayments. Okay, so pwede rin naman mag-equals yung ating fair value and selling price. No? Same procedure yung gagawin natin. Yun nga lang, wala kang adjustment sa ating lease liability for purpose of computation ng ating rights retained and for the carrying value of the rights retained. Okay? So yun yung ating dalawang babantayan kapag sale and leaseback transaction. So if there is an additional financing or a prepayments. Okay? Sir, may times din po bang loss? Yes. Pwede ring may loss yan. Okay? Pwede ring may loss yan. Okay? In this particular case, no, nagkataon lang na gain yung nakocompute natin. No? So pwede rin siyang maging loss on rights transferred. So it's either a gain or loss on rights transferred. Okay? So Again, in this case, no, prepayments tayo. Kailan magiging prepayments yan? If mas bababa ang selling price kaysa sa ating fair value. Okay, otherwise, kung mas mataas naman ang selling price kaysa sa fair value, that is an additional financing. Okay? So, okay, so sagutan natin yung natitirang problem ng sale and leaseback transaction. That is problem number 9, no, sa ating 4315. Okay, so one problem lang naman yon. So for sale and leaseback transaction. Okay. On January 1, 2022, Martian Company sold an equipment with remaining life of 8 years and leased it back for 5 years. So 5 years lang. The following information pertains to the sale and leaseback transaction. Selling price, 5 million. Carrying value, 3 million, given na. Annual rent payable at the end of each year, so meaning ordinary annuity ang gagamitin natin. Implicit rate is 8%. And the PB factor of ordinary annuity of 1 at 8% for 5 periods. So binigay na. So yun yung gagamitin natin to compute for our lease liability. Okay. So for question number 1, if the fair value of the equipment at the time of sale is 5 million. So take note that our selling price is 5 million. The fair value is also 5 million. So wala po tayong difference. Meaning, in computation of our RUA, wala tayong i-add or i-minus sa makukompute nating PB of lease liability. So which is the present value of the lease liability, that's simply 800,000. So yun yung ating annual rent payable times the PB factor, that's 3.99271. Okay. So ang magiging present value, that is 3,194,168. So again, that's 800,000 times 3.99271. That's 3,194,168. Okay? So kung yan ay para sa question number 1, wala po tayong additional financing or prepayment. Di ba? So para sa question number 1, no additional financing nor prepayments. Okay? So pag gumawa tayo ng table for comparison ng ating total fair value and carrying value. So ito is para sa number 1. Fair value, so that is given sa ating question number 1. So sabi that is 5 million. Okay? Carrying value, that is also given. Given yan sa taas, that is 3 million. Carrying value is 3 million. So kung titingnan natin, looking into this, kung wala sanang sale leaseback transaction, then meron kang gain na 2 million. Pero again, we have to compute, right? So ito yung ating total, fair value and carrying value. So ito yung ating retained. Computein natin yung rights retained by the lessee. Okay? So to compute, that is the carrying value of 3 million times, ang numerator natin, wala po tayong adjustment, that is 3,194,168 divided by yung ating total fair value na 5 million. Okay? So this will be our right of use asset or the carrying value of the rights retained by the lessee. That's 3,194,168 divided by 5 million times the carrying value of 3 million. So that is 1,916,501. Okay? So again, yung ating fair value of the rights retained, this will remains at 3,194,168. Ang ating RUA is 1,916,501. So yung difference ng 3,194,168 and 1,916,501, that's 1,277,667. So therefore, ito po ang i-recognize natin as gain on the right transferred. Lagyan ko na lang dito ng transferred. So while ito yung hinahanap nating gain, okay? So while completin natin yung table, that's 5 million less 3,194,168. So ang fair value ng rights transferred is 1,805,832. Ang carrying value ng rights transferred is 3 million minus 1,916,501. That's 1,083,496. So therefore, ang gain lang natin is 772,336. Okay? So that is 1,805,832 less 1,083,496, 722,336. Or 2 million, kung meron man difference no, due to rounding up, less 1,277,667. So meron tayong 3 pesos na difference. So anyway, rounding of difference lang yon. Ito po yung ating magiging gain on rights transfer. So ang hinahanap natin is gain. So therefore, we can perfectly tell na ang sagot natin sa question number 1 ay letter boy. So that is 722,336. So again ha, wala po tayong additional financing nor a prepayments. So that is question number 1. Next, number 2. If the fair value of the equipment of the equipment, 722, nga, sorry. Okay, thank you with that. For question number 2, if the fair value of the equipment at the time of sale is 4 million, what amount of gain or loss from sale should Martian recognize? So again, so this is 4 million, ang ating selling price is 5 million. So mas mataas ang ating selling price. So therefore, that is an additional financing. So kung additional financing yan, ibabawas natin. Okay? So this is additional financing. Yung computation ng ating lease liability, parehas yan, no? So since additional financing, magbabawas tayo. That's 5 million less 4 million. Merong additional financing na 1 million. Correct? So therefore, that is 3,194,168 less 1 million. That's 2,194,168. So ito ang gagamitin natin, no? As the fair value of the rights retained. So gawin natin yung table on this side. So para sa number 2, total fair value, given yan at 4 million. Carrying value is 3 million. So we suppose to have a gain of 1 million. But again, we cannot recognize the entire 1 million. Computin natin ang retained. So ang retained na compute na natin nasa taas, that's 2,194,168. That's the fair value of the rights retained. So therefore, yung transferred, so that is 4 million less 2,196,168. That's 1,803,832. So to compute for our carrying value of the rights retained, so yung ating carrying value na 3 million, ang numerator ay 2,194,168 over total fair value na 4 million. So ito naman yung ating magiging right of use asset. Okay? So that is 2,194,168 divided by 4 million times 3 million na carrying value. That is 1,645,626. So therefore, ang transferred natin is 1,354,374. So ima-minus lang natin yung fair value ng transferred at carrying value ng transferred, 1,803,832 less 1,354,374. Okay, so meron tayong 451,548. Okay, so 2,194,168 less 1,645,626. So ang hindi natin pwedeng i-recognize na gain is 548,542. So therefore, meron tayong gain na 451,458. Okay, so ito rin yun. So that would be 451,458. So yun yung ating hinahanap. So meron lang tayong difference na 2 pesos, no? That's letter B. Okay? So therefore, ang sagot natin is letter boy. So 2 pesos na difference. Okay? Hindi ko pa nalagay yung ating 2,194,168 divided by 4 million times the 3 million, 1,645,626. Ayan. So, ang sagot natin is letter B. So, that is question number 2. Okay. So, yung transferred natin, 5 pala to. Sorry, hindi 3. Mali ako ng sulat. 1,805,832 less 1,354,374. So, 2 pesos na difference lang tayo due to rounding off, ha? So, ang ating pinakamalapit dyan is 451,460. Okay, so that is number 2. Next, number 3, if the fair value of the equipment is 6 million, what is the amount of gain or loss from sale that should Martian recognize? So, 6 million versus our selling price na 5 million, that is 1 million. Okay? So, ito naman is prepayments. Okay? So, since prepayments yan, i-add naman natin. Okay? So, gawin natin sa kabilang side. So, ang present value of the lease liability, parehas pa din yan. Kopyahin lang natin, that's 3,194,168. Okay. So, gawin natin yung table. So, ang total fair value ay 6 million. So, this time, 6 million. Ang selling price ay 5 million. So, total fair value is 6 million. Carrying value is 3 million. So, dapat meron tayong gain na 3 million. So, since nag-enter tayo sa sale leaseback, kukumpitin natin kung magkano lang talaga yung ating rights transferred. Okay? So, to compute, that's the carrying value of 3 million. So, yung 3 million, 194,168 plus 1 million. So, yung difference ng ating selling price and the fair value. So, which is a prepayments, that is 4,194,168. Ito po yung ating magiging numerator. So, 4,194,168 divided by 6 million. So, this is the carrying value of the rights retained. So, ang ating fair value is 4,194,168. 4,194,168 minus the 6 million. So, ang ating fair value ng transferred is 1,805,832. So, again, that's 6 million less 4,194,168. 1,805,832. So, to compute for the carrying value of the rights retained or the RUA, 4,194,168 divided by 6 million times the carrying value of 3 million, that's 2,097,084. So, kalahati, no? So, tama ba? That's 2,097,084. Okay? So, bali parehas to kasi parehas 3 million eh. This is 902,916. 902,916. So, ito po yung hinahanap natin. Okay? That's 2,097,084. So, therefore, ang ating gain on rights transferred is 902,196. So, that is 916 rather. Letter C para sa ating question number 3. 902,916. Ito po yung ating computation. Okay, so you may take as a screenshot of this, no? So again, recap. Sa question number 1, no additional financing nor prepayments. So that is letter boy, 722,336. Sa question number 2, that's additional financing. Letter boy, 451,460. And question number 3, that's a prepayment. Ang sagot is letter C, 902,916. So you may take a screenshot of this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And another slide, screenshot in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that is our remaining topic or subtopic sa leases, the sale and leaseback transaction, and our remaining problem to answer problem related to sale and leaseback transactions. So again, no, anong kakaiba dito? We compute the right of use asset, no, as prescribed and described by the standard, proportionate to the carrying value of our asset, no, at the date of sale and leaseback transaction. Okay, so which is computed, yung ating present value of the lease liability adjusted by additional financing or prepayments, multiplied by ang numerator is yung ating fair value of the rights retained, Okay? Divided by total fair value, i-multiply natin sa carrying value. Yun yung ating magiging right of use asset. So again ha, we can only recognize gain or loss on the portion of the rights transferred to the buyer lessor. Okay? So that is sale and leaseback transaction. Okay, so that is the end of our leases. So, dediretso na po tayo sa deferred and income taxes. Okay? EAS number 12. Ito po ang ating related standard for income and deferred taxes. Okay, so himayin natin sa yung ating income and deferred taxes. So, guys, dapat naka-ready na ang inyong handouts for 4316. Okay? So, but before that, meron tayong kasabihan of the day. Diba? So, at ano yung ating kasabihan of the day? Pwedeng related sa income tax, deferred tax, pwede rin namang hindi. Okay? So ano kayang nakahandang kasabihan of the day? BSA students be like, mas mabuti nang may makompute sa choices pero mali, kesa naman ganito ang lumabas. Syntax error. Na-syntax error ba kayo pag nag-e-exam? O wag niyong gagawin yan pagdating sa board exam, ha? Okay? So, you might as well compute, no? Basta pag-exam, no, parang nakakakaba na wala ka na-compute na nasa choices. Diba? So, mas nakaka-build up ng confidence kapag meron kang na-compute na nasa choices. Diba? Pero pag nag-check na ng papel, mali naman. Diba? At least meron ka na-compute. Diba? Kesa ang lumabas, syntax error. Okay? So, anyway. Okay? So, well, ganun talaga, hindi talaga nag-equals, no, yung mga sagot sa exam doon sa answer key most of the time, di ba? So kaya kinakabahan kayo. The closest is the answer. Di ba ko ang difference parang kanina 2 pesos or 3 pesos lang, no, pwede. Pero kung 1,000 o kaya naman 1 million, di ba? Na-compute mo lahat ng nasa choices. Ayan. Na-compute mo lahat ng nasa choices. Okay? Power of C. Okay? Power of C. Sa akin, pag ako gumagawa ng exam, hindi power of C. Power of B. B for Bajam. Okay? B for Binaduyo. Diba? Siguro pag si Sir Chris ang gumawa, power of C. Diba? C for Chris. Diba? Pag si Sir Aljon, power of A. Nag-syntax error na po ako now kasi 12 digits lang calcu ko. Grabe si Namrola, oh. B, bibitawan. Diba? B, babaliwalain. Okay ka na. B, basta. B, bebenta. Ganyan, di ba? Okay na? Sanay na ako sa mga ganyan, kaya hindi na ako nasasaktan. Okay. Sana kayo din. Okay? So at least, di ba, may choices. Eh, ikaw nga, hindi ka nakasama kahit sa choices eh. Di ba? C as in sinaktan. Parang hugot na naman kayo ngayong araw. Hindi na nga ako umuhugot ngayong araw eh. Kayo naman ang umuhugot ngayon. Sige, so anyway, so ano ba yung normal problem natin when it comes to income and deferred taxes? We all know that we have our financial income and taxable income. Ito yung ating pagtutuunan ng pansin dito. No? So the taxable income or loss or the taxable profit or loss, it is the profit or loss for the period determined in accordance with the rules established by taxation authorities upon which income taxes are payable or recoverable. So in our case, our tax loss or the train loss, yun ang sinusunod natin. Okay? So, SITIRA, the SITIRA law, no, para sa ating corporate income tax. And our financial income or the accounting income, which is normally computed using the accrual basis of accounting. So, we all know that as the total income minus total expenses. Diba? So, ito po ay before taxes. Okay, so pag ang ating pinag-uusapan ay income and deferred taxes, we always presume, no, that the amount given as financial income is always before taxes or the taxable income. Of course, taxable yan before the taxes. Okay? So again, ang taxable income is normally computed using the cash basis. Again, normally computed using the cash basis. But perfectly, the financial income is computed using the accrual basis of accounting because this is prepared using the PFRS. No? At most times, hindi po nag-i-equal yan. Okay? So kahit anong gawin mo, di ba? Hindi mag-i-equals yung efforts na binigay mo sa paggawa ng financial statement because meron po tayong taxation laws, no? So that's a result of our tax authorities laws and regulations, okay? In this case, wala tayong magagawa kundi sundin ang tax laws. Diba? So ibig sabihin, Okay? Hindi mutual, sad naman. O, di ba? So, ganun talaga, di ba? So, kapag ang sinasagutan natin na problem ay related dito sa income and deferred taxes, we always put into our mind, laging tama ang taxation law. Okay? So, hindi ka kailanman magiging tama dito. Kahit pa sabihin mong accountant ka, diba? Kahit mo sabihin mong CPA ka, hindi ka kailanman magiging tama. So, normalize na ikaw lagi ang mali. Diba? Since marupok ka naman, diba? Wala kang magagawa kundi sumunod. Ay, napunta na naman tayo. So, again ha, lagi ang masusunod dito is yung taxation law. Ha? Bakit ba naging CPA? Maliit lang naman. Pagdating sa tax, di ba? So kaya nga we have to reconcile. So at the end of the day, mare-reconcile naman natin yan. Okay? While the financial income or the accounting income, again guys, always presumed to be before tax. So which is made or computed under the accrual basis of accounting. We are very much familiar with that. And the taxable income, which is normally untaxed loss, which is cash basis. No? So most of the time, cash basis. But of course, meron tayong mga exemption na hindi naman cash basis. Like for example, yung ating depreciation expense. So which is untaxed is accelerated. Normally, ang accelerated method natin is the SYD or the declining balance. Diba? So meaning mataas ang depreciation expense sa mga unang taon. Okay? While hindi nag-equals yan, ang tawag natin ay the differences. Diba? So meron tayong permanent and temporary differences. Okay? An income or expense, ang permanent differences, which is non-taxable or not allowed as deduction per existing tax laws. So ibig sabihin, kay taxation, never yan magiging income or never yan magiging expenses. And therefore, we can perfectly tell this is not recognized as income or expenses per tax laws. Kaya tinawag yan na permanent differences. Diba? So we have two, which is the non-taxable income and the non-deductible expense. Again, So those non-taxable income and non-deductible expense, income not allowed by the tax laws to be included in your taxable income. Okay? And non-deductible expense are expenses not allowed by the tax laws to be deducted to compute for your taxable income. Okay? So, ang permanent differences arises because of the recognition, principles na hindi kailanman magiging income or expenses yan kay tax. Hindi kanya i-recognize, di ba? Kahit anong effort ang gawin mo. Sabi ni taxation, hindi pwede. Okay? While yung temporary differences, ito at least dito may pag-asa ka, because there is only a timing. So kasi tinawag na temporary differences. So there are differences in terms of recognition of income and expenses per tax laws and per PFRS. So a difference arises because of timing. Diba? Mali ang timing mo. Hindi pa dapat i-expense yan ngayon ay hindi pa dapat i-income yan ngayon. Diba? Pero there will come a time that this will be allowed by the taxation laws to be recognized as income and expenses. Diba? Yun nga lang, hindi pa ngayon. Sa future pa. So, ibig sabihin, not the right time, not the right place. Ay, parang, iba na yun. Not the right time lang. Okay? So, an income or expenses is recognized in both financial accounting and tax laws, but at different times. So, ibig sabihin, magkaiba lang ng timing. It is not yet the time for you to be recognized. Diba? Mag-antay ka. Diba? Hindi lang natin alam kung kailan. Diba? So, okay lang po naman, sanay na kami mag-adjust. Okay. So, wherein, yung temporary differences natin is either future taxable amount. So, laging future yan, guys, ha? Okay? Kasi hindi pa siya pwedeng i-tax ngayon. Diba? Kasi hindi pa nare-receive, Diba? Or, the future deductible amount, hindi pa siya pwedeng i-deduct ngayon kasi hindi pa nababayaran or hindi pa inaalaw ng tax laws. Diba? So, the future taxable amount is also known as the taxable temporary difference, while the future deductible amount is also known as the deductible temporary difference. No? So, some problems, diba, makes use of taxable temporary difference or deductible temporary difference. That's also an FTA para kay taxable and FDA para kay deductible. So, pero pinaka-common na ginagamit dyan, FTA and the FDA. So, again, dalawa yung pwedeng maging differences. This is under PAS, Number 12, ha? Baka kasi pag tinignan nyo yun sa IAS 12, wala kayong makitang permanent differences. Okay? So actually, there is no discussion of the permanent differences under IAS 12. So sa PAS 12, meron tayong permanent because of our Philippine tax laws. Okay? Now, himayin natin, no? Ano yung mga taxable income, non-taxable income, non-deductible expense, as well as the FTA and the FTA. So dapat alam natin, isang tingin pa lang, dapat alam natin, uy, permanent difference to. Okay? So kahit anong gawin ko, hindi na talaga siya magbabago. Diba? Iwan ko na lang kaya. Diba? Tapos balikan ko na lang later pag nagsasagot na. Ganun na, ang pinag-uusapan natin dito ay problem solving. While yung temporary difference, ayan, we know work back natin from the choices. Syempre hindi, di ba? Temporary difference and permanent differences. So, dapat isang tingin pa lang, alam na natin na, at paano yon? So, we have to go through with this. Una is yung permanent differences. Again, dalawa yon. That's your NTI or the non-taxable income or the NDE or the non-deductible expense. Okay? Una, non-taxable income. So, again, so these are income recognized and reported in financial accounting, but according to existing tax laws, are not subject to tax. So either non-taxable yan, sabi ni tax laws, o hindi ka taxable, di ba? Or you are exempt, di ba? Sa income tax. Okay? So therefore, it will never be included as income per tax laws. No? So anong ginagawa natin? Non-taxable income is deducted from financial income to arrive at taxable income. So, ibabawas po natin siya. Again, so ibabawas sa financial income. So, examples, income subject to final tax. Minsan, ang gagamitin na term sa problem ay income subject to final tax. Ibig sabihin, NTI yan. Okay, non-taxable income. Minsan naman, i-specify. Diba? Proceeds of life insurance policy where the company is the beneficiary. So, ang mahalaga dyan, guys, yung naka-close and open parentheses, dapat makikita sa problem that the beneficiary of the LIP or the life insurance policy is the company itself. So normally, ikukuha ng insurance yung mga KMPs, the key management personnel, yung mga presidente, the directors, di ba? So those valuable individual in the company. Para pag namatay yon, meron kang makukuhang pera. Di ba? So which is, ang beneficiary dapat is the company. Non-taxable yon. Royalties is subject to final tax, di ba? So minsan kasi nga i-specify. Interest income on bank deposits, ayan yung normally ma-encounter natin sa mga problems when we are answering problems na related to PAS 12, income and deferred taxes. Again, no? These are non-taxable income. So minsan may lalabas pa dyan yung mga income exempt from tax. Okay? So yung mga income exempt from tax is also treated as non-taxable income. Okay? While non-deductible expenses, again, hindi ina-allow ni tax laws as a deduction, di ba? So these are expenses recognized and deducted to arrive at financial income. So binawas na yan ay financial income. Pero sabi ni tax laws, oy, hindi pwede, di ba? So both are not allowed to be deductible according to existing tax laws. Okay? So while a non-deductible expense is added to financial income to arrive at taxable income. Hahatiin natin yung ating formula no into two. So yung after effect, yung permanent differences, and then yung ating temporary differences. Okay? So again, hindi pinapayagan ni tax laws na i-deduct yan. Okay? So therefore, we have premiums paid for life insurance policy, which is the company is the beneficiary. Diba? So kung namatay at meron kang na-receive, non-taxable yon. Therefore, yung binabayad mo is non-deductible. Again, ang importante dyan, guys, is yung naka-close and open parentheses. Ito yung company is the beneficiary. So, any premiums paid. Next, penalties, fines, and surcharges. So, ito po yung penalties, fines, and surcharges sa BIR and SEC. Kasi ang sabi ng ating PAS 12, this was included no as a major expense in your operating expense no, pero hindi dapat. You could have avoided this di ba, if you only filed on time, or kung tama ang binayad mo, di ba, or kung tama ang compute mo, wala kasanan yan, di ba? So these are not allowed to be deduction, di ba? Goodwill impairment. Okay, so goodwill impairment is part of permanent differences. Bakit? Kasi nga hindi mag-recognize si taxation ng goodwill. Never. Okay? Laging zero or laging walang goodwill ang taxation. Di ba? Pero tayo, as a component of business combination, di ba? We recognize goodwill. Expenses in excess of limits allowed by tax codes, di ba? So ito yung mga entertainment and representation expense. So there is a particular percentage, di ba, of income before deduction. Di ba? Yung mga contributions, no, in form of charity contributions. So meron tayong allowed limit or limit on deduction, no, as our expense. So in excess of that, hindi na po yan deductible. So again, so these are the examples na normally ma-encounter natin as example of non-deductible expense. Again, hindi siya ina-allow ng taxation to be deducted. Minsan, ganyan ang term na ginagamit, di ba? Expenses not allowed to be deducted. So automatic NDE yun, di ba? Or income not allowed to be taxable, di ba? That's NTI, non-taxable income. So again, no, ang non-taxable income, NTI, non-deductible expense is NDE for purpose of our discussion. Now, as you can see in our PowerPoint, no, sa ating screen, merong income statement approach and the balance sheet approach. So this is for purpose of determining our tax base. Tax base is the amount attributed to asset or liability for tax purposes. Okay? Una, kapag income statement approach, ang ginagamit natin, of course, no, is yung mga income statement account, which is an income or expenses. Ang kino-compare natin is the financial income or the accounting profit versus the taxable income. So kung ang binigay sa atin ay financial income and taxable income at hindi balanse, okay, so meron tayong difference. Remember guys, na yung financial income, this is the financial income after adjustment for permanent differences. So meaning, yung NTI, ibabawas na natin, yung NDE, i-deduct na natin. I-add na natin. Okay, so NTI, ibabawas na natin, yung NDE, i-add na natin, no? So kung hindi pa rin nag-equals yan, ang ating comparison, tingnan mabuti, no, ang given sa problem, income ba yan? Income statement accounts, income or expenses. So if the financial income is higher than taxable income, meron ka pang FTA. That's our temporary difference. Okay? Otherwise, if the financial income is less than the taxable income or taxable amount, that is an FDA. Okay? So tingnan mabuti. Ano yung mga yon? So meaning, merong kang income na ni-recognize for financial accounting purposes na hindi pa inaalaw ngayon ng taxation na na-recognize as income. Di ba? So meaning, mas mataas ang financial income mo. Okay? So meaning, ngayon pa lang, alam mo na hindi yan tinax ni taxation authorities ngayon, pero in the future, magbabayad ako ng tax. Ngayon pa lang magse-set up ka na, di ba, ng liability. Yun yung ating deferred tax liability. So while if income, financial income is less than the taxable income, no? So say for example, yung ating depreciation expense, di ba? If mas mataas yung ating expense per accounting kesa sa taxation, ibig sabihin, mas mababa ang income natin kesa sa taxation. So it will result naman into an FDA, a future deductible amount. Okay? So again, so kapag ang binigay sa problem ay income or expense account, we can use this income statement approach, comparing our financial income and taxable income. Pag mas mataas financial income, future taxable. Pag mas mababa, future deductible. Okay? Okay yan naman. The balance sheet approach, ang ibibigay sa atin ay carrying values ng asset or liability. Okay? Carrying value of asset. If the carrying value of the asset per book is higher than carrying value of asset per tax, it is an FTA. Best example is accrued income. Di ba? Meron kang, say, interest receivable. Di ba nagde-debit interest receivable ka? Pero meron kang income doon, interest income. So using income statement approach and the balance sheet approach, it will both result into an FTA. Kasi meron kang interest receivable sa libro, zero kay tax. Di ba? Or meron kang income kay libro, wala pa kay tax. Di ba? So it's either you use the income statement approach or the balance sheet approach. No? Or carrying value ng equipment. Di ba? Kung mas mataas ang carrying value ng equipment kesa sa tax, ibig sabihin, meron kang FTA. So what is lamenting by that? Mas mababa naman ang na-recognize mong income or expense rather, depreciation expense sa libro kesa sa tax. Diba? So ibig sabihin, that is an FDA kasi mas mataas ang financial income mo doon. Okay? So kung ang binigay sa atin ay carrying value na ng equipment, then balance sheet approach ang gagamitin natin. Okay? Pero kung depreciation expense, income statement approach ang gagamitin natin. Okay? So, mas mataas ang book, FTA. Mas mababa ang book, FDA. Okay? Next is the carrying value of liabilities. Ito naman, kung mas mataas ang liabilities sa libro kesa sa tax, FDA naman yon. Diba? So again ha, mas mataas ang carrying value ng liabilities sa tax, sa book kesa sa tax, FDA yon. So ang best examples niyan, yung mga warranty, yung provisions. Okay? So di ba, you debit provision, say debit loss on litigation, credit provision for litigation, o nag-debit ka na ng loss. Ibig sabihin, ang financial income may expense na. Pero ang tax kapag binayaran na. Di ba? So meaning, may expense ka na sa financial income. Kung income statement approach yun, mas mababa ang financial income kesa sa taxable income. O di ba, FDA yon kung income statement approach. Meron kang credit provision for liability or provision for litigation. Meron kang liability sa libro. Pero kay tax, wala. Diba? So therefore, mas mataas ang liability mo. So kapag ganon, meron kang FDA. Otherwise, you have an FTA. So mas mababa naman ang carrying value ng ating liability per book kesa per tax. No? So normally, kapag liability is yung una, yung carrying value per book is higher than carrying value per tax, yung ma-encounter natin. Ngayon, in case lang na may problem tayong na-solve, or nakita na yung number 2, carrying value per book is less than carrying value per tax, FTA naman siya. Okay, so pero ang pinaka-normal na may encounter natin dyan ay yung una, kapag liability. Mas mataas ang carrying value per book kesa per tax. Okay? So, ito yung ating tax base ha. So, to determine whether our temporary difference is an FTA or an FDA. Okay, so either income statement approach, kung income or expense yung given, or the balance sheet approach, kung ang given ay carrying value ng asset and or carrying value ng liabilities. Okay, now, for our temporary difference, we have the future taxable amount. Okay, or the taxable temporary difference. Again, no? So this temporary difference is a result of taxable amounts in determining taxable profit or loss of future periods when the carrying value of the asset and liability is recovered or settled. So take note, it is future. Ibig sabihin, ngayon pa lang, alam na natin na magiging taxable tayo in the future. Kaya ngayon pa lang, magse-set up na tayo ng liability. Diba? This is pertaining to an income recognized today which will be taxable in the future. Diba? Therefore, we have to recognize a liability now. Diba? So FTA will result to a deferred tax liability. Again, ha? DTL, ang laging kapartner ng ating FTA. And how to compute our DTL? That's your FTA times the future enacted tax rate. Again, guys, future enacted tax rate. Since yung mga amount na yan ay future taxable amount, ang gagamitin nating tax rate to set up the DTL is yung tax rate in the year of expected reversal. Specifically, kung magbabago yung tax rate on that period. Diba? So, kaya ang ginagamit natin dyan is the future enacted tax rate. Okay? So, examples are the unrealized gain in P&L. Okay? Prepaid expenses, interest receivable, excess of tax depreciation, ibig sabihin mas mataas yung depreciation ng taxation kesa sa financial income. Okay? And installment sales recognized under accrual method. So again, no? So kung titingnan natin, yung installment sales recognized under accrual, income statement approach yan. So ibig sabihin, meron na tayong income ngayon, pero wala pa kay tax. Mas mataas ang financial income. Yung unrealized gain-PL, mas mataas ang value ng ating asset. Di ba? O kaya naman, meron tayong gain na pumasok sa P&L pero hindi pa yan nare-realize. Therefore, meron kang differences. So, prepaid expense, mas mataas ang asset. Interest receivable, mas mataas ang asset. Mas mataas ang tax depreciation. Ibig sabihin, mas mataas ang carrying value ng ating assets. No? So, you can analyze it using the income statement approach or the balance sheet approach. Okay? Yung ating future taxable amount, it is deducted from adjusted financial income to arrive at taxable income. So again, no, pag sinabi nating adjusted financial income after we effect yung ating permanent differences. So again, FTA is deducted from our financial income after the permanent differences to arrive at our taxable income. Pabawas, ha? Pabawas. So, ang ating tatandaan lang naman dyan, basta taxable, bawas yon, di ba? Kapag NTI, non-taxable income, bawas sa ating financial income. Kapag future taxable amount, bawas sa ating financial income after the adjustment of the permanent differences. So, basta may word na taxable, NTI or FTA, pabawas yon. Okay? So, that is FTA. Next is the FDA or the deductible temporary differences. So, again, no, temporary difference that will result in the amounts that are deductible in determining taxable profit or loss of future periods when carrying amount of asset or liability is recovered or settled. Okay, so since this is an FDA, it will result to deferred tax asset. No? So normally, kung iisipin natin mabuti, no, kung taxable income versus financial income, mas mataas ang taxable income. Di ba? So, ang binabayaran nating tax is based sa taxable income. Di ba? Kung mas mataas ang taxable income, meron tayong mas malaking binayad na income tax. Di ba? Kaysa doon sa na-compute natin per financial income. So, in a way, parang sobra yung bayad natin today. Di ba? So, parang sobra. Again, no? So, in a way, we have a prepaid tax, di ba? So parang nagbayad tayo in advance. Kaya meron tayong gagamitin na pambawas in the future, di ba? So deferred tax asset yan, di ba? So FDA times the future enacted tax rate is equals to DTA. So again, no? Kapag deferred tax ang pinag-uusapan natin, if you will notice, ang ginagamit nating tax rate is always the future enacted tax rate. Bakit? Kasi nga, they are expected to be settled in the future. Diba? So therefore, kung kailan siya mag-reverse, yun yung tax rate na gagamitin natin. Okay? Example, bad debt expense. Remember that in PFRS or the accrual basis, we recognize bad debt expense and credit allowance for bad debt. So normally, bad debt expense, kung income statement account, allowance for bad debts, no, kapag balance sheet approach. So bad debt expense, nire-recognize lang yan as expense sa taxation, 'di ba? Kapag may actual write-off, tayo expectation pa lang. 'Di ba? So ngayon, meron ka ng expense sa financial income. Pero kay taxable income, wala. 'Di ba? So therefore, meron kang allowance. So mas mababa ang carrying value ng ating asset. Okay, so mas mababa ang carrying value ng ating asset and therefore mas mababa yung ating financial income. Sir, given po ba yung sa mga problem, yung future enacted tax rate? Yes. Okay, so ibibigay yan. Unless yan ang hinahanap. Pero normally naman, kapag mga problems ng deferred and income taxes, so that is given. Okay? So kung isang tax rate lang ang binigay, we always assume that the tax rate for this year, or current year, and in the future years will be the same. So ibibigay naman kung mag-iiba in the future periods. Unrealized loss, ibig sabihin, mas mababa ang value ng ating asset, di ba? So kasi sa taxation, ang value ng ating investment, hindi magbabago yan, di ba? Warranty liabilities, interest payable, excess of book depreciation. So ibig sabihin, mas mataas naman ang depreciation ng financial accounting. Okay? Provisions for litigation. So ito yung mga normal na ma-encounter natin as examples of FDA. Okay? So ayan ha, pag depreciation, tatandaan lang, pag mas mataas ang tax, FTA. Pag mas mataas ang books, FDA. Okay, so yun yung mga term na ginagamit eh. Excess of book depreciation. Ibig sabihin, mas mataas ang depreciation sa libro. So FTA yun, FDA yun rather. So otherwise, excess of tax depreciation, FTA yun. Ha? So minsan kasi, na nalilito pa kayo, no? Or nag-iisip pa na matagal kapag depreciation. Okay? Tandaan, mas mataas ang tax, TA, taxable. Mas mataas ang libro, DA, deductible. Okay? Kapag merong liability, FDA, automatic yon, no? So lalo na yung mga accrual or adjusting entry at year-end, nag-recognize tayo ng liability, hanggat walang outflow of cash, walang expense kay tax, di ba? So therefore, pag may mataas-mataas ang carrying value ng liability, lagi siyang FDA. Okay? So therefore, ang FDA po is added to adjusted financial income to arrive at taxable income. So, ina-add naman natin ang FDA. Basta may deductible, pa-add naman yon, di ba? NDE, non-deductible expense, i-add sa ating financial income. FDA, future deductible amount, i-add sa ating financial income after the permanent differences. Okay? So, ganun natin tatandaan, ha? Basta may word na taxable, pabawas yon. Pag word na deductible, pa-add naman yon to arrive at our taxable income. So, in a way, this is our reconciliation. Diba? This is a required disclosure in our financial statement. Okay? The reconciliation of the financial income and taxable income. Now, ito yung ating mga summaries, no, of when it is an FTA or an FDA. So una, depreciation expense. Again, kapag financial accounting normally, lalo na kapag silent, straight line method. Kaya ang nilagyan na natin dyan, accounting is straight line method. Okay? But for taxation, that's T, taxation is accelerated. Okay? Again, ang accelerated, that is either the SYD or the declining balance. Meaning, mataas ang depreciation in the earlier periods pababa. Okay? So, ito yung sasabi natin, excess of tax depreciation, FTA yon, pabawas. Minus, ha? Excess of accounting or book depreciation, FDA yon, padagdag. Okay? Bad debt expense. Sa accounting, that is allowance method. Sa tax, direct method. So again, ibig sabihin ng direct, we only recognize it as an expense when it is actually written off. Eh di ba sa atin sa accounting, meron tayong adjustment for the expected uncollectible. So FDA yon. Okay, FDA siya, ha? Prepaid expense. Okay? So accrual basis and cash basis. So in this case, mas mataas ang ating asset. Diba? Kasi sa accrual basis, meron ka ng asset. Or i-expense mo yan kapag ginamit. So hanggat hindi mo ginagamit, meron kang asset. Diba? Pero sa tax, agad-agad naka-expense yan. So kung titingnan natin yung income statement method, diba? May expense ka na kay tax, wala pa kay book. Diba? So, or if there is a portion of the prepaid expense that is actually consumed, so kung halimbawa kalahating taon lang, kalahati lang ang na-recognize ni book, diba? O ni accounting. So meaning meron ka pang remaining na kalahati, diba? So in such case, mas mataas pa din ang expense ng taxation. So therefore, mas mataas ang financial income mo, diba? So looking into our income statement method, mataas ang expense ng tax, therefore, mataas ang financial income. Kaya FTA yan. Looking into the balance sheet method, may asset si accounting, wala si tax. Mataas ang carrying value ng asset, FTA yon. Okay? Unearned income, liability to. Diba? Kapag may liability, FDA yon. So under accrual basis, may na-receive kang cash, pero i-recognize natin yan as liability. Diba? Pero kay tax, lahat yan income na. So looking into the income statement approach, mataas ang ating taxable income. Diba? Kung mas mataas ang taxable income, FDA yon. Diba? Or, meron tayong liability sa libro, pero wala kay tax, mataas ang carrying value ng liability, FDA yon. Okay? Unearned income. Warranty. So ganito din, nag-recognize ka na ng expense, credit liability. So sa financial income, meron ka ng expense, pero kay tax wala pa until nagbayad ka for actual repairs. So if ever man, meron ka ng actual payment ng repairs, mas mataas pa din yung ating estimate. Diba? So which is, mas mataas pa rin ang ni-recognize na expense sa financial income, therefore, mas mababa yung ating financial income. And therefore, FDA yon, di ba? And in this case, meron kang liability, di ba? So pero wala kay tax. Mas mataas ang carrying value ng liability kesa sa ng book kesa sa tax. So that is FDA. So minsan ang gagamitin warranty liability. Kung warranty liability yan, FDA pa rin naman. Okay? Litigation loss. So parehas, di ba? So ang accounting is the estimated na isa-settle natin in the future. And yung ating taxation is the actual settlement cost. Again, mataas na naman ang liability sa libro, FDA yon. Or, meron ka ng expense sa libro, wala pa kay tax, therefore mas mataas ang taxable income, FDA na naman yon. Unrealized gain, FBTPL, again, ito yung ating ugol-PL, mas mataas ang fair value ng asset sa libro compared sa taxation. Ang tax kasi hindi nagbabago. Kung magkano mo siya binili cost, yun siya, hindi magbabago. Diba? So kapag tumaas ang value niyan at year-end, mas mataas ang carrying value ng ating asset. Eh di taxable amount yon, FTA yon, diba? Or kung titingnan natin, that is credited to ugol-PL, may income sa financial income pero wala sa tax. Therefore, it is financial income is higher than taxable income. Okay? We only recognize gain or loss upon actual sale ng ating investment. Okay? So, FTA yan. Unrealized loss, FBPL. In case of FBPL loss, the other way around, mas mababa naman ang value ng asset sa libro. FBA yon. So kung yan ay TOSI, ganun din naman, no? Pero kapag unrealized gain or loss ng TOSI, yung deferred tax is recognized outside profit or loss. So which is OCI ang pasok niyan. Okay? So pwede rin, meron tayong ugol-OCI, pwedeng ugol gain or ugol loss-OCI. So yun nga lang, ang pasok nun ay sa OCI. Okay? Ito normally, mga profit or loss. Next, installment sales. Okay? So normally, meron na tayong nire-recognize na income sa accrual, di ba? Pero kay tax, kapag na-collecta na. And therefore, mas mataas ang nire-recognize nating income sa financial income, that's a taxable amount. So FTA yon. Okay? And the impairment loss, take note guys, PPE. PPE. Kasi kung goodwill impairment yan, di ba NDE yon, non-deductible expense. Pero kung impairment loss ng PPE, unrelated assets, no? Accounting, we recognize impairment loss when we do our testing at year-end. Meaning, pag